Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Wajan Iverson here. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different kind of video. I'm going to go through and rank every single silver augment into a tier list. As I'm doing this, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. It could be like 10 minutes, could be like 30 minutes. So let's just get right into it. And yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to let me know in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And maybe we'll be back for doing some gold and prismatic augments if you like this kind of thing. So we could just get started. I'm going to be ranking every single one of these silver augments into a tier list. First of all, AFK, I would put it like solidly in the A tier, and I'm also going to be talking about like the spots that you would want to take all of these augments. So rather than just like looking at a tier list, you can like actually understand like first of all how good is this augment, but second of all like when would I want to take it. So AFK, it's an econ augment. So it's usually an augment that we want to take when we are lost streaking or our board is not very good because it does not let us win streak. We can't perform any actions after we take it. And one thing to make sure about this augment is just make sure that before you click it, you can like hit, there's like an arrow button at the bottom of the augment selection, and you can like hit that and rearrange your board, arrange the next unit that's going to go and slam any items you want to slam. So just make sure you want to take that. And yeah, I would say it's like a very solid above average augment if you don't think that you can win streak. Next is going to be augmented power. The first thing, I will be putting this augment B or C tier, and I'm thinking more towards C tier right now. First of all, I don't really like this augment too much on 2-1 because there is a chance that the 3-2 augment could be silver, I believe. And if the 3-2 augment is silver and then we get a gold augment instead, then we're kind of just playing a little bit down an augment. Like, we're not very happy. We really want to take this and then get a prismatic augment instead of a gold augment. So I like this augment better on 3-2. But at the same time, we're kind of playing without an augment for an entire stage, which is not a very good thing, and the prismatic augment might not even be that good for us. So we would want to take this in spots where we're like kind of sacking stage 3 anyways. But yeah, I would say it's like a bit of an underpowered augment in general. Bed of Thieves is a very solid augment in general. I'm thinking A or S tier. I might actually just put it in the S tier just because of how flexible it is. You can pretty much take it in like any sort of comp, any sort of spot, and it will pretty much always be above average. So yeah, I'm just going to put it solidly in the S tier. If you have like a unit that can hold a TG well, then that's the spot you would want to take it. Really good on stage 2 if you're trying to win streak as well. Next we can go into Beggars Can Be Choosers. Right now I'm thinking either B or C tier. I think I'm going to put it in the... I think I'm going to put it in the C tier. It gives 7 gold, which is pretty good for 2-1, but there's not actually that many like overpowered augments right now that we want to fish for, I feel like. Like, to me, the way I think of the augments right now is there's a lot of really bad untakeable augments, but there's not too many like insta-win augments that we can fish for when taking this. And yeah, 7 gold is just going to be like a lot less gold than a lot of the other 2-1 silver econ options. So I'm going to be putting this in C tier. Next, Best Friends is just a very generic combat augment, so I'll put it in B tier. Really, the one thing you want to look for when you're taking Best Friends is it's going to be better like as the game goes on. You're going to want to take this on like 3-2, 4-2 more than 2-1 probably. And just make sure that it's like an AD heavy lobby so that the armor is actually useful, because if everyone's playing AP, then the armor is going to be useless and it's going to be a very below average augment. Next, Big Friend. This is going to be our first D tier augment. 7% durability is not a lot, and it can be really hard to like find spots where we can actually proc this augment. So I feel like there's almost always going to be like better options, and yeah, it's going to be a bit rare that we're actually getting high value out of it. Like, it's going to be some setup where our units have like a ton of HP and a ton of resist already that it's actually useful, and yeah, that's going to be pretty rare. Branching out, I'm thinking B or A tier. I am going to put it into the I'm going to put it into the A tier, and branching out, I guess these augments are actually quite different, so we can talk about them separately. Yeah, so branching out, we want to click it if we don't have any direction, and it will give us that direction. If we already have like a strong reroll direction, or like we know what comp we're playing, then we're not going to click it. But getting an emblem for a silver augment is pretty good, especially if we have like no idea like what we're playing on 2-1. Yeah, branching out plus is going to be more like B or C tier. I'm going to put it in the C tier. By 3-2, we're pretty much always committed to a comp, so we would have to be in a spot where we're like playing a comp that could use like tons of emblems, like tons of different emblems, or like we desperately need the Reforger for some reason, or we aren't committed, like maybe we're on a lost streak and we don't have any of our items signed. But even then, I'm not like that excited about it. and it feels a lot riskier at 3-2 than at 2-1, even though it does come with the Reporter. I'm going to be ranking the 2-1 one a lot higher. Called Shot is going to be C or D tier. I'm just going to put it in the D tier. Even if you win every single round with Called Shot, I believe you get like 13 gold, and it's like a little bit delayed. So like the other silver econ options are going to give us like almost the same amount of gold while having none of the risk of Called Shot and like not really forcing us to play like differently, like leveling on 2-2 and 2-5. So yeah, Called Shot not a very good augment. Caretaker's Ally is going to be solidly in the A tier. It gives us good direction. There's a lot of 2 costs that we're very happy about right now. I can go through and list all of the good ones. I would say Mundo is pretty good. We could play into like Juggernauts. I would say Gangplank is pretty bad. If we did have it, we would probably play into Duelists. I would say Janna is okay. We could play lots of different like strategist or protector stuff with her. I would say Jin is not great. We'd probably end up playing like some sort of sniper flex with him. Kaisa is obviously amazing. We're probably in a very good spot to win with that. Katarina we're super happy with. Kobuko we're going to be playing for Mentor off that. We're very happy with that as well. Lux would probably play into some sort of Soul Fighters. Rakan Battle Academia. Sorry, just talking a lot, so I need a sip of my water. Yeah, Shen could be like probably crewmate, and sorry, I'm a bit sick right now, so also coughing. Yeah, but I would also be vertical Juggernaut similar to Mundo. Xayah is pretty good. We could do like Star Guardians or some sort of like Xayah Bastion, Xayah Protector kind of stuff. And Zinzao would also likely be like vertical Soul Fighter. So yeah, the most powerful outcomes would be like probably Kaisa, Cat, and Kobuko to me, but none of the other ones are that bad, and like even if we're not that happy with it, it's going to give us a lot of tempo having like a 2-star 2 cost in stage 2. Chaotic Evolution, I'm going to put this in the A tier. It's very good. We have to reroll with this augment. Like if only take this if you already are planning to reroll. I'd say it's very good in comps like Crew or like 2-cost reroll where we can get the value of the augment very fast. And I do believe that this augment is like slightly tailored, as in like it will give you the stats that your units want more. So like a tank is more likely to get like HP or durability, and a backliner is more likely to get like the 80 AP attack speed. And I guess one more thing is that a 3-star unit will actually get 4 stacks of Chaotic Evolution, because you'll get 3 stacks for 2-starring every time, and you'll get 1 stack for the 3-star. So you'll actually get 4 stacks instead of 3, like some people might expect. Climb the Ladder, I'm going to be putting it in B or A tier. I guess I'll probably put it in B tier. It's an augment that's like very good in verticals. Like if we're playing like a vertical Star Guardian, for example, then it would be like one of the best augments. But if we're not playing verticals, then it becomes almost unclickable. So I'll just average it out in the B tier. Yeah, you really just want to be looking for like verticals, like vertical Star Guardian, vertical Soul Fighter, vertical Duelist is going to use this like really well. Next component, Buffet. I'm thinking either A or S tier. I think I am going to put this into... I think the S tier should be a little more exclusive, but I think it could be like borderline on the S tier, like one component, and just like guaranteeing that we have like good items for like our reroll or our comp that we're playing is like really good. And yeah, component Buffet, we're gonna... like it's just generically very good, but we can look to play comps with like very specific items. Like Ash Duelist needs very specific items, and we'll be able to like guarantee like the best in slot. Corrosion is an augment that becomes better against vertical front lines. So if we're playing against someone who's like a 6 Juggernaut setup, then we're going to get a lot of value out of Corrosion. I am going to be putting it in the B tier. I think of it as like a pretty average combat augment in general. Crafted Crafting is one of the less exciting econ options. I'm going to put it in C tier, but it can be a bit better in like stuff like Component Anvils. Delayed Start is going to be our next S tier augment. If you're bored, if you don't feel like you have a strong reroll direction, or your board is like super good, then I'm pretty much always happy to take this. And I estimate that I take this like 80% of the time I get offered it. I think both diversified portfolios, there are some spots for it. Maybe I shouldn't put it in D tier, but I think I'm just going to put it in D tier. It's like super hard to play around, and pretty much all the other econ options are going to like do better for us. Maybe we can mostly think about it if we're in like Wandering Trainer and we can get like 6 on like stage 2, and then it would actually be like pretty good, but even then it's not that good. So I'm going to be putting it in D tier. Dumbify, I actually like Dumbify better than Golemify nowadays, but it does feel like there's not as many comps that really love Dumbify this set. And there's no like... well, there's like Heavyweights, but Heavyweights is not like very common to have on our board. I'm going to put it in B tier. But I think if you don't know what you're doing, you should really stay away from this augment because it's very situational. It requires a very specific spot for us to take it. We have to have, first of all, a lot of money, because if we take this, we're going to become very poor. We're going to lose a lot of gold. Second of all, we have to have a lot of backline items. If we take Dumbify and then our board has no damage, we're going to lose every round, and it's not going to be fun. And yeah, I guess third of all, we also have to just be like playing a comp that can like use like Dumbify well. So like that would be like not like a melee carry comp, probably like a scaling backline comp with like Archangels or Rageblade would like this augment best. So yeah, if you don't really know what you're doing, then I would probably stay away with this. I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's like extremely spot dependent, but in some spots it can be quite good. Efficient Chopper, this is one I'm actually not too sure about. It is 100% a loss streak augment. You need carousel priority to take this augment. I think the nice thing about this augment is like we can get like 2 copies of a 4 cost on like stage 3. So like for example, if we're playing like duelists, getting like 2 copies of an Ash off the carousel would be like super nice. But usually we're committed by like stage 3, and like a lot of it feels very coin flip, as in like maybe like we're looking for one specific unit on the carousel, and if it's not there, we just get no value from our augment. So I'm going to be putting in the C tier. I think there are some like lost streak spots for it, but I think it feels very coin flip to me. This eye for an eye, I'm going to be putting in either B or C tier. I think I'm going to be putting it in B tier. 3 components for a silver augment is very good, but this one we get the augment value very slow. Whereas this one, I'm going to be putting it in A tier. We get the augment value much faster. We get 1 component right away. So I like the 3-2 version of Eye for an Eye much better than the 2-1 version. And we're just going to take this in any generic spot where we can use some items. It's a pretty generic augment. Find Your Center is probably going to be going in the C tier. I don't think there's too many comps that use it well this set. Mostly like hero augments is when we would want this. But yeah, other than that, like it doesn't feel too good to like take Find Your Center and like Star Guardians, for example, and our Poppy is in the Find Your Center. Like I'm not excited to do that. I would rather have pretty much any other augment. Fire Sale is going to be A or S tier. This has been a really good augment for a while if we need econ. I think I might actually just put it in the S tier because I can't really think about like any time when I would ever be unhappy to have Fire Sale. It just gives us like a ton of econ for a silver augment. And yeah, anytime we feel poor, we can take this. And even if we are rich, we can still take it and still feel good about it. So yeah, I think it's just a great augment. Glass Cannon 1, I'm going to be putting in C tier. We have all of the downside of Glass Cannon 2, but less of the benefit. 13% damage amp is not a lot of damage amp. I would look to take this augment when we have a comp that likes damage amp, so like doesn't already get damage amp from a trait, and like if we have a Gunblade, so I guess a good example would be like Gunblade, Archangel, Yumi, and Prodigy. And I think this would be like an average or above average augment, but I think in general this augment is probably not that good, and I'm going to be putting it in C tier. Good for something, I think I'm just going to put it as B tier. I think it's like a pretty decent loss streak option. It gives like a pretty decent amount of gold, but obviously we're kind of forced to loss streak with it. And it's not like too insane, like not too game winning, but it does give quite a lot of gold if we're loss streaking. So I'll just put it in B tier. Healing Orbs, B tier, just the average silver combat, nothing too special about it. Iron Assets, I think, are very similar to Component Buffet. I'll put them A tier. This one comes with a little more gold than Component Buffet, but we don't get the flexibility of picking our items later. And 4 gold is actually quite impactful, so yeah, I would put them around the same. I think they have like different spots, but they're very similar. Item Collector, I would never take. I'm gonna be putting this in C tier. I would never really take this augment on 3-2. I think the value is just too low. And on 4-2, like we're gonna want to be playing like some very specific setups where we already have like a ton of unique items, and also our team doesn't get like too much AP or AD. Like if we have 10 unique items but we're playing sorcerers, like it's still a bad augment. So yeah, I think it's pretty niche, and really we can only take it on 4-2. I'll put it in C tier. Next item, Grab Bag. This is much better on 2-1 than it is later in the game. I'm going to be putting it in B tier as well, but I think it's probably more like A tier on 2-1 and then more like C tier on like 3-2, 4-2. 2 components for silver is pretty average. We don't get to choose the item we want, which is a little bit less good. But yeah, it's really good for win streaking on stage 2. Keepers is a very good augment right now. Synergizes very well with Star Guardians because we get increased shielding, but it's really generic. We can take it in pretty much anything. I also like it with Juggernauts because we have like durability above like a certain HP threshold. Kingslayer is going to be a B tier augment. It's more of a lost streak augment. You want to lose, but we can also mix streak with it. Like if you can get like a Kingslayer proc in stage 2, then it can be a lot of value. But if we're like win streaking or like we're too high HP, then we don't get any value from the augment. So I'm putting it in B tier because it's a bit situational, but I think it could be like A tier. And obviously like some spots it can be like amazing and then some spots just very bad. So you just have to think about what's best for your spot. Late game specialist, I'm going to put this in A tier. Like if you are like guaranteed to make it to level 9, then this is pretty much one of the best augments you can hit. 33 gold for a silver augment is like so much gold. And yeah, it's like pretty much one of the best augments for fast 9. But if we're not like 100% sure that we're going to be able to go to level 9, then we shouldn't take this. Latent Forge is either A or B tier. I'm a little bit more inclined to put it B tier. I like it a lot less than like Portable Forge, for example, because we have to commit to a comp before we actually see our artifact anvil, and it's super easy to just miss on our artifact anvil. I mean, of course, sometimes we're going to high roll and instantly win the game, but sometimes we're going to low roll and we're going to get like something that's maybe equal to like 2 components worth of value, but we have to wait 8 turns for it. So yeah, I'm okay taking this, but it is kind of risky, and yeah, I would put it in around B tier as like an average augment. Lineup I'm going to put in A tier. If we're ever playing like a vertical or just like a lot of frontline units, like even like some sort of like mentor mech setup, it can be really good. But yeah, also just like stuff like vertical juggernaut and vertical protectors is going to be amazing as well. So yeah, if we're playing like at least like 5-6 frontline units and we're not playing bastions, then I would be really happy to take this. Lip views I'm going to put in D tier. I haven't taken this augment once this set. Maybe there's some tech with it. I don't know what it is. And sorry, I'm not used to talking this much, so taking a sip of my water. Next is lunch money. I'm gonna also put it in D tier. If you are actually guaranteed to win every round by a lot, then it's pretty good. But usually you take this, and then that's not what ends up happening. And it's just like so risky with like the reward not even being that high of like winning every round with the augment. It wouldn't be that much better than like a fire sale, for example. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in D tier. I think it's quite bad. This connection is gonna be A tier. If we're playing any 1-cost reroll, it's amazing. 14 gold for a silver. I believe it's 14. It might be 13. Nope, 14 gold for a silver is really good. That's like almost the same as Placebo Plus, which is also a good augment that we'll get to later. And yeah, even if it gives us like 1 2-star 1-cost, I'm pretty happy to take it, especially if we're poor. The Cannon Hero augment, I mean, this one is really going to change every patch. I think right now it's probably around a B tier augment. We want to take it if we have like if we have Cannon 2 with a item slam, I would say, then I would be willing to take it. Yeah, I'd put it around B tier. Just make sure you check like how good like Rageblade or like JG is on Cannon before you take this augment, because they might buff it or nerf it, and it's kind of hard to tell. 125 is going to be a C tier augment. This one's only offered on 4-2, and 4-2 silver augment is like super rare, so you're probably almost never going to see this. But yeah, if we really need like one specific 5-cost, then we could take it or gamble, or if we could use a lot of 5-costs, then maybe we could take it. But yeah, overall, it just doesn't give us any like crazy amount of like econ or item for a silver, so just going to put it in C tier. Usually on 4-2, we would rather have some sort of combat augment anyways. I think 1-2's 3 is going to be my next S tier augment. This one gives, we get 9 gold, which is not that crazy, but 9 gold is actually better than something like Placebo, right? This is only 8 gold, or yeah, better than something like Beggars Can Be Choosers. So yeah, it's pretty crazy this gives more gold than Placebo, huh? But yeah, 9 gold on 2-1 is very good for kickstarting our econ, and it's also in the form of champions. So like this can help us hit upgrades to make our board stronger, or it can give us units that will give us direction, or like Crystal Gambit or something. So I'm pretty much happy with this in like almost every spot. I think it's just generically super good. Over Encumbered is A or B tier. I think I'm gonna put it like kind of top-ish of B tier. Like 2 components for a silver augment is about what you'd expect. This one's a bit delayed and there's some restrictions on it, but you know, getting the item components is nicer than getting like the completed item. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting it in B tier just because 2 components is not anything that crazy, and we do have to like wait for it, and there's some restrictions. Pandora's Bench, I'll be putting it in B tier, but what I'll say about Pandora's Bench is it's one of the best augments for like 1-cost reroll, like if we're rerolling a bunch of 1-costs. But most of the 1-cost rerolls this set don't reroll like too many. Like Kale kind of just wants to hit Kale fast and then push levels. Also, if you need a very specific 5-cost, like which is a bit less common this set, but like for let's say we're playing like 7 mech and we really need to hit a Yone on 8, we can just reroll 5-costs, and since there's only 7 of them, we can have a super high chance of hitting it. So I'm gonna put this in B tier. I think it's like decent for like 2 and 3-cost reroll, but not anything like too crazy, and I think it's really good for 1-cost reroll. But there's not too many 1-cost rerolls in the meta right now. Pandora's items, gonna put it in A tier. Very similar to like component buffet. Just 1 component, lets you pick your items. Very good. Patience is a virtue, gonna put it B tier. Solid lost streak option. And you know, if you have a bunch of upgrades, I wouldn't be too afraid to take this either and just like, you know, sacrifice some value and play strongest board and try to win streak and get like 10 rerolls with it. But at the same time, it's not anything that crazy. Like it's not too different from like a good for something for lost streaking. So yeah, I think it's just solidly B tier. Perfect Form is actually the best hero augment right now. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Like you probably still need Zac 2 with good components to click this. So it's not S tier. You can't just click it like with having nothing. But it does seem to be the best performing hero augment right now. This Silver Placebo is going to be C tier. It only gives 8 gold. This one's only offered on 2-1. Yeah, if you compare it to something like 1-2-3s, this is 9 gold in the form of champions. Like this is so much better. Like it's not even close. This is kind of like a last resort. Like it's not unclickable, but it's definitely quite below average. This one, however, gives 15 gold on 3-2, and I would say it's quite good. Anytime you feel poor, you're very happy about taking Placebo Bless. Next is Pocket Recombobulator. I'm going to put this one in A tier. I think in something like Component Anvils, Double and Likuing, a 1-cost is like very good on 2-1. And we can get a 2-star 3-cost and just make items for that and then win streak with it. And also there's some spots where it feels very strong, like if we have like Worth the Wait and then we get, or Build-A-Bud, and then we got this, offered this on 3-2, and then we can get like an instant 3-star 3-cost, which is really good. Or if we have like, you know, like 6-7 copies of a 1-cost on 2-1, we can just roll for it and then double Nico and have like a 3-star 3-cost on 3-1. So yeah, I'm gonna put this augment in the A tier. You kind of have to know what you're doing with it, but it can have like really high upside. I don't like prep too much right now. I would only take this augment and reroll. It is pretty strong combat-wise, but usually you do feel a bit scared of not hitting your board if you don't have like econ or combat augment. So I'm gonna put it in B tier, and this is like a reroll augment only, I would say. Pumping up is going to be C or D tier. I will be putting it in the C tier. You don't really want to be clicking combat augments on 2-1. It doesn't really do anything that crazy, but I don't think it's like so bad that it's D tier. Like it's generally passable in like most comps. Recombobulator is going to be yeah, I'm gonna put this augment in D tier since they stopped offering it on 4-2. Usually the crazy high rolls would come on 4-2, like you have a 3-star 3-cost already, and then you just Recombobulator into an like instant win, or like Recombobulator into some 2-star. Like you would basically need at least 2-star 2 4-costs to like consider clicking this, or like maybe I'll put it in C tier, like two 4-costs, or like one, or like a 2-star 3-cost and like some other stuff is kind of what you would need to consider Recombobulator. So like it gives you a couple 5-costs, or it gives you like a 2-star 4-cost. But even then, you might not have the items for the guys, and it's not like as crazy last set where you could get like Zac or Urgot and like start scaling, right? I guess if we get like a TF, we'd be pretty happy. But most of these don't seem that crazy. Like imagine you get like a Seraphine, and you're just like, what do I do with this? And you're probably losing every round. So I am gonna put it in the C tier because I think there are spots for it, but it might be closer to like D tier. I'm not taking this very often when I got offered it, that's for sure. Reroll Transfer, this augment actually got buffed. I think it's pretty decent now. I always forget to reroll, or to not reroll my augments with it. I think I'm going to put it in B tier. I think it's a solid silver econ option, but not really too crazy or anything. It gives you 18 rerolls over the course of the game, and also 3 gold on 2-1 for jumpstarting your economy. But at the same time, you don't get to reroll your augments, which is kind of a big deal. There's a lot of really bad augments right now, and yeah, a lot of the other silver options, like econ options, kind of just feel better than it. Restart mission. I'm going to be putting this in the A or the S tier. I think I'm going to put it in the A tier because it's not just as good in like every single spot. But if you should really count the like how much your board costs with this augment. And if your board costs less than like 15, 16 gold, then this augment becomes pretty much like an instant click because it gives you like 20 gold, as well as a stronger board. So yeah, if your board is like cheap and bad, this is like literally the best augment in the game. But if your board is like, you know, good and expensive, then you just like can't click it at all. So, okay, I'm gonna move it up to S tier just because the high rolls are like so high of the augment. But yeah, it is a bit more situational, like mostly off lost streaks. Rig Shop is going to be A tier. If we're playing 3-cost reroll, this is great. Some examples would be like Jace Caitlyn, Darius plus Jace, or like Yasuo, Udyr, Senna would just be like a couple examples, or like Star Guardians with Ahri Nico maybe. But if you're only rerolling like 1 3-cost, then it's probably gonna grief us more than it hurts us because we would already be able to hit that guy, and then it makes you actually less likely to hit your other like 4-cost, 2-cost units that you need. Risky moves, C tier. Losing 20 HP is quite bad, and the gold payout of 30 gold is not even that crazy. Like, you need to have a really strong board to click this, and it's not that crazy of an augment. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Rolling for days, solid econ option, good in reroll, good in fast 8 as well if we're like poor or contested. This augment just got nerfed super hard. I'm thinking C or D tier. I did see title kind of pop off with it in a scrim though. I'm gonna put it in C tier. I'm sure there's still some spots for it, like guarantee with the slam. Second win, it's just a generically good combat augment. I might actually move it up into the A tier. I feel like it is better than some of these augments in the B tier, like healing orbs and stuff. So I'm gonna put it in the A tier. I think it's above average combat augment in most spots. 2-1 Silver Destiny, I will be putting in probably the S tier. I think 3 gold plus the silver augment is like too good. If you don't like any of your other silver augments, you can just take this. This one I'm going to be putting in the D tier though. On 3-2, we have Recombobulator, we have Restart Mission, we have Dumbify that can completely grief our spot. So I like try to always avoid Silver Destiny Plus, in my opinion. And this one is going to be going back into the S tier. I think 7 gold on a silver augment is like too much, and yeah, there's not really a lot of stuff that can grief our game on 4-2. In fact, there's none of it. Silver Spoon is going to be B tier. Just gives us 10 XP. It's a decent like win streak option, or if we have like a level 5 board on 2-1, like 5 units that we want to play. Spoils of War, I'm personally a hater of this augment. I know some people like the silver version. I'm going to put it in the C tier. We can take it with a strong board, but I don't think it's a very good augment. Then United also going to go in the C tier. It's like, the thing about Silver Stand United is that like we can't, like, it's not like Bronze for Life that we can play a completely different board just to get more value on our Silver Stand United. And like we can pretty much only consider taking this on 4-2. That's the only time we'll have enough traits. So yeah, this augment just doesn't feel that good. Like there's some spots for it where it's pretty good for sure. I would say it's around like, it's similar to the Silver Item Collector that I think I put in B tier or C tier maybe. Yeah, I put it in C tier. I would say these augments are very similar. Like you can only take them on 4-2 and they're like pretty specific spots where you're getting good value out of it. Survivor is a D tier augment. If you're like smurfing or something, like maybe you can take it, but yeah, after 3 players are eliminated, you're already almost top 4 anyways, and it's not like 92 gold instantly wins you the game, so it's just too hard to play without an augment. Table Scraps is going to be solidly in the A tier. To me, this is like kind of like a better version of like Over Encumbered. It's like Over Encumbered that comes with some gold, basically. And maybe we're getting like less desirable like tank components, but 2 components and a little bit of gold for a silver augment is like really good. Oh, one thing to note about this augment is if 2 people take it, then 1 person actually won't get a champion and an item. So make sure no one else takes it before you take it. Yeah. Team building, I'm going to be putting it in the C tier. I think really the only time like this augment is actually good is like if you're a contested reroll, or if you can like take it on 2-1 to like Nico 2-star 3-cost. But otherwise, I feel like you'd rather just have like a rolling for days, and you would actually hit more of your board with like a rolling for days or like a placebo than with this team building. And obviously, there is the delay of 5-player combat, so yeah, mostly if you're like contested on a reroll, then this can be super valuable, but I don't think it's such a great augment. Teaming up 1, I would say it's an average augment, 1 component and 6 gold for a B tier augment. If we have some 3-cost pairs and we need like items, then that would be like the spot we want to take this. This augment also just got nerfed really hard. I would probably say it's like similar to the Garen augment, that we need like a really good spot to take it, but there probably is still some spots for it. Titanic Titan is going to be, I will put it in the B tier. This augment's really good if we're like sacking rounds. For example, like Golden Edge Gnar, like we can you take Titanic Titan and like keep Golden Edge on our Gnar for longer and like get some gold out of it. That, or if we have like Crystal Gambit. But otherwise, as a generic augment, I would say it's like quite low, like C or D tier. But yeah, if we just want to sack rounds, then it's good. And Young, Wild, and Free, I would put in the, I'll put it in the B tier. I think in like D-gen metas where like one comp is like very clearly S tier, then this can become like A or S tier because you can just yoink the 4-cost or like the component off the carousel. That's like super desirable. But this meta is like pretty decent and balanced, and I would say the value you get out of this augment is not too crazy right now, so I'll be putting it in B tier. And that's going to be it for my silver augment tier list. If you guys enjoy this kind of thing, make sure you let me know. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and yeah, if you guys enjoy this, we can come back and do the gold and the prismatic augments. Although I think my voice needs a little bit of a break for now. So thank you for watching. I'll be back next time, and peace. See you later.